All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back updates and information as they hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you go be the first. Well, collect them. Let's go down to the news proper as they hot. You don't share. Matter what we say, it drop for my table. Be say Clark. Don't write Tinubu to direct AGF to release Mazi Nnamdi from the DSS detention. The person that wrote this thing is one of the leader of the Nation, Edwin Clark. And I say, if I should say shame on Ohaneze Ndigbo, who have not been very outspoken when it comes to matters that concerns Mazi Nnamdi either. They have always used Kanu as a means of, chasing clout or getting attention from Ndigbo. Or maybe when they want to run for a political office, you see them talking about MNK, and through that, you see them getting the support of the people because these politicians and these Ohaneze and Ndigbo, some of them who are in higher power in the politics, have known that Mazi Nnamdi is someone that all the Ndigbo respect, and he is a bold son of Ndigbo, one whom Ndigbo might not get in the next generation, because after Ojukwu, Kanu has been one person that is very outspoken. He is not only speaking from other countries, but he have come back to his father's land and every other thing to make sure that his people are liberated from the bondage called Nigeria democracy. Because the democracy that we have seen so far in the NIG country is one that dumbfounds anyone that knows the true meaning of democracy. It's more also that the people in the nation called NIG are into autocracy more than democracy, because democracy is the government of the people by the people. And in democracy, according to Abraham Lincoln, we are meant to believe that in democracy, it is the government of say your mind. You have to say your mind because it is democracy. And when it comes to democracy, the decision does not end with the leaders. When the leaders are making their decisions, they also, try to bring in their subjects to consider their subject. What is their intention? What is their opinion in the decision that they are about making? Because the government of democracy is a representative government. For example, the people in the Senate House, if you look at the Senate, you find that the people in the Senate came out of different constituencies and they are there to represent their constituency. If you go to the lower chamber, if you go to the state, you see the people in the House of Assembly. These people are also there to represent their councils. And you find that where these people are supposed to do their work, they have failed woefully in representing the people, because more or so, it is as if these people are there to represent their personal pocket. Meanwhile, let's go down to the full detail of the information. As the leader of the Nation, Edwin Clark, has called on President Bola Tinubu direct the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, to file a nolle prosequi for the release of the leader of the independent people of Biafra, Nnamdi. Clark urged Tinubu to ask the Attorney General of the Federation to file a nolle prosequi to release the detained leader of IPOB, noting that his freedom on political grounds was long overdue. This was contained in a second letter to the president on Sunday, following a first in which the elder statesman urged the president to not to toe the path of his predecessor, President Muhammadu Buhari, who marginalized and subjugated the Igbos by exempting them from certain appointments. The release of Nnamdi by Mr. President on political grounds is overdue, as earlier explained. Mr. President should direct the Attorney General to enter a nolle prosequi to free Nnamdi, who has shown his intention to work with the federal government. to bring peace and stability in the southeast and to Nigerians as a whole, as it has been recently done in similar cases of treasonable felony, as in the case of Mieti Allah. President Abdullahi Bello Bojedo of Nasarawa State, he said. The Punch, however, reports that Kanu was denied bail in April by Justice Bintanyako of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, who granted an accelerated hearing instead. In his letter, Clark said the move would complete reconciliation of Nigeria and end the sit-at-home order in the southeast. He said the IPOB had fashioned a place for itself in the hearts and minds of young people because of the short changing of Igbos from the carrot and stick approach. Rather than military force, he should use carrot and stick approach in addressing the agitation in the region. Apart from demanding the restructuring of Nigeria, the political freedom of Nnamdi Kanu will no doubt complete the reconciliation of Nigeria and bring an end to the needless Monday sit-at-home order which has disturbed business and civil activities in the southeast. The short-changing of the Igbos in the southeast over the years is the reason why IPOB has fashioned a place for itself in the hearts and minds of young people in the southeast, which it demands for self-determination. I have physically seen these IPOB boys in action at the Ekweme Square in Awka, Anambra State, when I attended a meeting of the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum there. None of these youth witnessed the civil war and are definitely not abreast with the history of war and its full ramification. I advise, therefore, that rather than the use of military force, which has already proved counterproductive, they should be careful, treated with the carrot and stick approach. In the interest of the peace, stability, and progress of Nigeria as a whole, and the Southeast Zone in particular, Clark further emphasized the importance of reintegrating the Igbos into the mainstream of Nigeria, in which their region will be equal with other regions in the country, noting that anything short of that will not be in the interest of the country. Let me re-emphasize the importance and urgency of reintegrating the Igbos into the mainstream of Nigeria, where their region will be equal with other regions in all ramifications, meaning that they should be fully and unconditionally united or be admitted into the Union of Nigeria as it was before the Civil War. Anything short of that is not in the interest of the united Nigeria, and there may be no end to the insecurity in Nigeria. He also called for the restructuring of Nigeria, of which he said the president had also been a principal advocate before becoming senator and the governor of Lagos State, adding that restructuring the country will be one of your most enduring legacies when you leave office. Mr. President, you have always been the principal advocate of restructuring over before you became senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and governor of Lagos State. During your time, you passionately advocated for sovereign national conference, which was even more inclusive than the current restructuring we are demanding in Nigeria. Undoubtedly, this pursuit of restructuring will be one of your most enduring legacies when you leave office, he added. This one is coming from Edwin Clark, a statesman of a nation, and I think ever since I started reading matters that concerns Mazi and Kanu, especially from when it comes to the Ohanaeze, their group and the rest of them, I have not seen a man who is very forward in making his statements, being blunt in his writings, rather than beating around the bush. And I believe that most of the things that Ohanaeze have done is more or so beating around the bush. For example, Ohanaeze Ndigbo president, as he believes he is, should have access to the president. I don't know why Ndigbo have so much, decreased to the point of not even having access to the president. You could imagine Oba Akunmi of Lagos. You could imagine Oba of Benin. You could imagine all the Obas. You see how free they have access to the president. These people are respected. But why has Ndigbo chosen division? I feel that what is happening in Igbo today is somehow coming from the national body, from the president and the senators also. But let's bring it back to Igbo's home. And you see the longing for power, the desire for power has actually crippled the activities of tradition, the activities of leadership in Igbo. Because it is now believed that somehow you will be able to find out that this talk, this saying that says that Igbo is somehow becoming true. I don't know that whether it is because that word have been spoken so much in the life of Igbo and it has now turned to a prophecy. And it is affecting Igbo. You find out that it looks as if that truly that Igbo. You go to Lagos, you see where Igbo are dragging because of the kingship, maybe Igwe of Igwe Obi of Lagos, or Igwe of Festac, or Igwe of Agor, or Igwe of Victoria Island, or Igwe Igbo, Igbo, or of Banana Island. You see this tussle, and these people left the right thing that should have been done, and they are doing the otherwise. And you find out that in the olden days, things were not like this. The tradition of Igbo, the leaders of Igbo, the Igwes of Igbo were well-respected people before politicians came in and scattered everything. In Imo State, during the time of Rocha Sokrocha, he was the one that allowed communities to start having their own autonomous community. It means that in a particular town, you can have like more than 4 or 5 Igwes. The communities have been divided. You see these people supporting the Igwe and the people support the other people supporting the other people. And whoever becomes the Igwe is one who has a clique with the governor, is the friends of the governor. And tell me, how can these people speak up for their people? Because they have been bought. Yes. When you desire power by all means, that's why it is said that absolute power corrupts absolutely. And whenever these politicians seek for absolute power, you want to control the locality, you want to control the House of Assembly, you want to control the local government councils, you want to control every single thing that happens in the nation. That is the fall of every nation. You can also see some of these symptoms in the leadership of Nigeria, whereby the executive has the veto power to appoint even the chief judge. That means that the judiciary arm of government does not have autonomy of its own. Yes, it cannot exist by itself. It cannot even checkmate what the executive is doing, because the person that is leading the judiciary is appointed by the president. It's high time, when some of these constitutions are being looked into, whereby the politicians have made the constitution to favor them personally, I think the nation is not going anywhere. Meanwhile, this is why I'll be winding down the curtain. I also want to applaud the statesman of Ijaw people who have spoken like a man. What some of the Nnamdi have not been able to do, this man has accomplished it in his writing a direct letter to the president to follow a political solution in order to be able to handle the things that is happening in the southeast part of the country, or the eastern region of the country. This is where I wind down the curtain. And if this is your first time of joining us on this wonderful channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news is dropping, you will be the first. We'll collect them. Thank you for listening. God bless you.